Hello, everyone, and we are back with another session of Shadows of the Old World, and a lot of things have changed since then. We are in a new year,
Woo!
and
Happy New Year!
Three
Yep.
twos!
yep, I got some new toys for Foundry that I am excited to try out, see if they streamlined. Foundry updated to version 9. There's a lot of new things. I mean, this was supposed to be quick, but given this group, we shall see. Once again, No Not Ones is joining us because because it would not make sense for the story to just yeet him out of it. And so he is contractually obligated to stick with us until his part of the story is done.
This is just my plan to weasel my way into a permanent position.
First line of the session. Nona, what do you... And suddenly, Bo steps forward and says, "And now I must go. My planet needs me."
Whoosh. End of session.
Can we keep him?
If I become a fan favorite, they'll never let me go.
But no, can we
we're already having. If you looked at the episode that released today, we're already having that problem with Korra.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, I would have no issues if we kept her.
So I was worried that people wouldn't gel with each other about bringing them in. Oh no, we have the opposite problem. They gel too well, and we don't want to let them go.
They love us too much.
Well, hello, welcome to another episode of Friend Hoarders.
It's almost like most of us are bronies or something.
It's almost like we love and tolerate each other unconditionally.
Yeah, I'm not even like super brony. Like I appreciate the show for what it is, but you guys are just nice and fun.
We're glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too.
All right.
Let's get started.
All right. So Hugbox over. Let's get started.
I'll cry.
After waiting for the fog to pass by, the party continued their journey forward. Shortly after the second leg of their journey began, they had noticed a snowstorm brewing in their path, as well as nocturnal predators oddly hunting during the day. Electing not to disturb and risk angering them, Boulder directed the group around it. Once progression forward became too dangerous, the party decided to camp out at the mouth of an old mine until the storm passed. As the group settled in, a distraught Hoshimi suddenly left the mine, heading outward into the storm. Once the rest of the group caught up with her, they found Hoshimi cradling a small, malnourished fox and little signs of what possibly attacked it. Back in the mine, the group found corpses that seemed to have either starved or killed themselves. On the next day of travel, the party heard dragon roars echoing through the valley and ducked into a nearby cave where they found 2 more corpses, one that looked starved and another suicide that seemed to have been a struggle. As expected, a silver dragon in disguise named Nilendum the Cautious had appeared and gave indication of the nearby white kobolds. From all the evidence, Owen had deduced that what was attacking the travelers was a wraith. The party decided to see if they could get any information or help from the local kobolds. Adding to their hobble, Flint's draconic background allowed the party to enter with relative ease. They found the chieftain of the tribe, Ziri, whom they discovered had lost a child to the wraith. She was the one who wrote the note about traveling alone and had been cleaning up and gathering materials left behind by the wraith's victims. As the party waited until nightfall for the wraith to come out, Seven drank the potion inside her head, unleashing a vision from the point of view of an unknown academic and not a griffin, as she had hoped. Seems like hopes are running a little low.
The phrase "drank the potion inside her head" sounds so wrong.
So
It sounds like it'd be a phrase or something, like a term.
It sounds like you drank brain fluid.
Ugh.
So are we starting right back where we were, or has it been?
It has been a little while. As you guys are waiting until nightfall for the raid to actually come out, so you can actually deal with it. You all have been just either walking around or resting, just trying to either prepare yourself for what's going to happen, or simply just pass the time until then because you're already ready.
As we're all waiting, pacing, and doing our things, Boulder at one point would approach Flint if there was ever an opportunity.
All right.
Quick question. The fox still asleep?
Yes.
Dynamite.
Meanwhile, Caius suddenly just was leaning back on the bed or trying to get some rest when he suddenly just bolts upright. Caius!
What?
Something.
Yeah,
matter.
Shylan is going to has a look of, I guess, shock on his face. And if you could move my token, Josh, he's actually going to approach one of the kobolds.
All right. What is it?
So, could I please speak to Queen Zera?
Yeah, Siri.
Out of character. That was a mistake. That was a mistake on my part.
See, I know he's mumbling to himself.
You gotta remember, these guys don't speak common, they speak draconic.
Ah, right.
I can translate for you if you want.
He
But I
looks
think
up next
Boulder.
to him.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess does Flint notice that he's trying to talk to the?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Flint would notice.
He
Okay.
shouts from the other side of the room when he's mumbling, and he actually tells you what he's trying to say.
All right. The kobold. He's like, Okay, then almost kind of like it's like almost kind of like an Oompa Loompa. He just kind of walks up to you, kind of tugs on your trousers, then leads you towards Ziri.
He says, "Follow
All right.
me. The queen's this way."
So yeah, he is going to follow the kobold.
All right. So you enter in there, and the kobold. He's very nervous, but he just communicates very quickly to Ziri, and then he just quickly backs away.
Shylan gives a bow, Your Majesty.
What is it?
Did you or any of your kobolds happen to see a traveling party? They would have been very well equipped, and there may have been, and he gives a description of Caius among them.
I wonder. She starts stroking her the bottom of her long snout in contemplation. The description does not ring a bell for Ziri.
It's possible the man we found was simply by himself. Thank you.
All right.
He bows and turns to take his leave.
All right. So I believe Flint and Boulder have something that they want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically mid-conversation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Boulder will just continue from where we were just saying. It is not your responsibility. Should you choose to track down this undead aberration, I will accompany you. But at any point, should you wish to simply safely escape this mountain, I will lead you out.
I mean, considering that we've seen people dying left and right, it is kind of our responsibility to do something, don't you think? I mean, we could save ourselves, but then this thing would just keep killing others, and who knows? There could be more people on the trail. They could kill them too. If we have the time, and we're here in the moment, we should do something.
Keep happening.
It's an honorable outlook, much like a hero in a story. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Then I am with you to the end.
I know you are. And Flint actually, he was flicking rocks on the ground a little bit, and he actually picks up a small rock and a big rock, and he's like, Flint, you're so brave, you're so fantastic. Oh, yours great too, Boulder. Oh, we're gonna be heroes together. Let's get that right. Right?
What did I just walk in on?
Boulder's head just kind of tilts, and you can hear the stones like shifting as he does so. Yes, whatever gets you prepared for the day ahead. Do you need more rocks to play with? I have some in the corner.
No, I think I'm okay.
And Boulder will kind of nod his head and look at the rest of the group kind of chilling, and he will go chill in his corner.
Oh, Olin is not chilling. She is flipping out.
Yeah, so why don't we talk about... So now let's move to the conversation with Olwyn and Seven.
So a wraith is sort of like a, okay, so you know that ghost that was asking for help and was talking about bullies? It's a much meaner version of that kind of ghost, I think. And it sucks the life out of people if it touches you, so don't let it touch you.
But what if it really is just trying to ask for help and it doesn't know how?
No, okay.
Maybe Sybil and I could talk to it like the last one.
Just do it from far, far away.
But it might not be able to hear us if we're far away.
There is an audible growl from Hoshimi.
Devin, I understand that you want to do something nice for it, but and I hate to perhaps add to Hoshimi's pain, but look at her friend. It did that to him. It killed those other people. It almost probably killed the other foxes. It's dangerous. So, please, for me. She sort of holds on to, she grabs Seven's cheeks gently and like tries to focus Seven's face on her. Please, try not to let it touch you.
Seven's looking really hard into Olwen's eyes in the moment, and she's like you could see it in her, like you could just tell Seven's emotions are now shifting. I promise. I promise. I got it. I won't go near it. I'll try not to.
I know. And you are a very kind, wonderful, brave griffin. But I don't want anything bad to happen to any of you. And unfortunately, these wraiths, they're very, very bad. They're dangerous. Talk to it if you need to, but please don't get too close to it. If you have to close to a fight, try and, I don't know how you do it, but use that black magic-y stuff. Any magic. It won't respond to anything else.
I don't know what that stuff is, though, and I don't know why it shows up.
And just be careful for me, okay? Try and protect everyone else. If you're not comfortable with using it, then just protect other people. I know you're good at that.
It seems to want to protect me and those around me, though, so, I'll do what you say.
Okay.
Then how should
I'm actually going to have a hard time with this. I'm not magical at all.
That's actually. Etiquette, can we say that Shylin has kind of been overhearing and approached?
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually something I've been wondering. Owen, you seem to be an expert when it comes to race, and again, I can't see anything. So,
Yeah.
Where is everyone else?
Everyone's just like next to the fire, just trying to stay warm.
All right.
With the only exception being, of course, Hoshimi.
Yeah.
And he raises his voice so that Hoshimi can hear. And if anyone else knows anything about race and fighting them, I'd like to hear their thoughts too, but...
May I roll a cult?
Unfortunately, this is a, this would have to be a religion check.
And I'm not trained in that.
I
believe I am.
am.
Okay, so
Nope, I'm not.
May I roll, Josh?
yes, if you are trained, if you are trained, you may roll.
I'm not trained, but I have a +4 because I'm wise.
Ooh, 19?
Never mind.
Religion's intelligence based.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not yeah. In 5e, it's wisdom based.
No, it's wisdom based in 2e. I have a 0 intelligence, but I have a +4 to religion. I'm not trained.
Yeah, it's a wisdom-based thing.
Oh. Well,
Yeah,
I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Okay, I'm not the dungeon. I'm not the game master anymore.
Yeah, Arcana and
I'm
occultism
kidding.
are intelligence, nature.
Okay,
knowledge,
I'm
and
kidding.
wisdom.
All right, get it. All right, so all right, so lovely. So
Wow, Sybil.
Mid.
Yay.
Woo!
all right, so one second. I need to get this exact thing just to make
Oh,
sure that
Would I be able to roll Lore Mountain?
not for this. No.
Not for this? No. Okay, so there's nothing like this has ever happened before. Okay.
Yeah. So, the thing is that because Olwyn's, gonna have to ask you to roll Lore Undead for this.
Yay! I have a better modifier on that. I'll do
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Woo!
Die if you roll a 12.
Yeah.
No! Can I
Hey! Oh, it became a 12.
Well, here's the thing. I remember
Wow.
you guys have hero points now. You guys have hero points now, and you should have had hero points now. So if you want to discard one of your cards and re-roll this, you
Okay.
can.
You
No,
reroll
okay,
every
so-
time you get a 12, you reroll. You use up all your hero points within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, seriously.
The thing is, the problem is okay. So, do I have to sacrifice 3 hero points, hero cards in order to not die, or can it just be however many remain?
However many remain.
Okay, then yeah, gimme.
Okay,
No,
so
I'll
which
take one.
so re-roll it and remember to discard one.
Also,
I don't
Josh,
know how to
I'm loaded.
discard.
Okay, so you just click the little arrow that says play. You click the little arrow that says play card, and you pass it to the discard pile. Okay, so
And it's much better.
all right. No, new rule: get a 12 free reroll. No.
I'm just
No.
I'm just kidding.
You did say something along those lines back when Madame Silverfox was first revealed, though.
Anywho, so
I mean, I do roll them a lot.
okay, so here are the things that here are the things that Olwyn has recounted. Is that okay? So the question specific. Okay, Shylin, what was the specific question?
His specific question, he didn't actually ask the specific question. His first thing was okay, who else knows anything about
Okay.
race and would you like to contribute?
All right. So, Olwyn, you know that this thing is very, very hard to do damage to. It's immune to a lot of different. It's immune to a lot of different things. It's not completely immune to everything. If you have at least something a little, if you have something a little bit magical, it'll do something, but it won't do as much as it would. And the thing is that if it's non-magical, it's just going to be a lot harder to put this thing down if it is non-magical. And even then, even if it is magical, you have to have a specific kind of magic: force, ghost touch, or positive energy.
Ooh.
Okay.
Would any of the magic users be able to enchant the non-magic users' weapons so we can actually do something?
Okay, anyone who's trained in our Arcana, roll that. And while we are doing that, Sybil, you know something specifically about another specific thing about wraiths. Just a little thought pops into your head that these things, you remember the word wraith. And you also remember that they really do not like bright light. They hate sunlight the most.
Mm-hmm.
Is all this information being shared with the group or no?
Yes, but if Sybil wants to tell it to the group in a more entertaining way, he absolutely can.
The Sybil
Does Sybil
show.
want to be Sybil?
Civilize.
Sybil disobedience.
Well, how many of us here would know how to shine brightly when it gets to the most dark?
I've been working on something actually. She pulls out a little she pulls out sort of it's not her regular gun. It looks like a cobbled together gun using one of the sun rods and a device most of y'all probably wouldn't have seen before, at least in universe, but it looks a little bit like a grappling hook on a crossbow.
Flint,
Yeah?
can't you breathe fire?
He was actually just about to say that. He what do you call it? He grits his teeth together almost like he's flicking a lighter, and then a tiny little flare comes out of his mouth. Is this
Yep.
tough?
Actually, that's a good question. Is that positive energy?
It's fire. It doesn't count as positive energy.
If you're
Silly.
worried about positive energy, I can cover that side. Aside from earth manipulation, healing is one of my specialties.
Oh yes, it doesn't like healing magic. That's a good thing. That's a
Wait,
good thing to know.
So, Wraith is undead.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's okay, that works. Okay, we have a idea. Okay, it's basically just an incorporeal zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And also from the Arcana checks, Sybil, Adrian, and Flint, in response to Shylin's question about ghost touch, they're like, we need a. It's like you all realize that you guys need a rune for that, and you don't have one right now.
All right. In that case, Olwen. During the fight, where do you want me? Because right now you mentioned that being in close range against the Wraith is pretty much the worst position you can be, and I don't even have magic weapons. I am a purely close range fighter. At this point, I'm not sure how I can contribute.
At this point, I think your best bet would be to stay near Sybil and or Boulder. They might be the most valuable assets in a fight against it, because, not judging, but kind of trying to sort of gauge the situation, but I think Sybil might have ghosty kind of powers, and Boulder said that he has positive energy, so staying near them might be the most wise. I think I would rather... They need to be protected, but I'm serious. Don't let it touch you.
All right.
She looks sadly over at the fox.
This may sound odd, but Shaylin, you
Shaylin,
seem like
yes?
the kind of person who could take a hit. Am I correct?
Try to avoid getting hit more than often, but yes, I have been punched in the face.
If you
once
are
or
able,
twice.
and Olwen, please stop me if this is not okay. I hear your concern. If you are able to stay close enough to keep its attention and avoid most of its attacks, I may be able to replenish any energy it may sap from you. And if you can dodge it long enough, Sybil and I may be able to do our work from afar.
Sounds like it might be a good combination. So I stick closer to stick within your range and keep its attention.
That would be perfect if you could stay within 20 or 30 feet or so.
Yeah,
Oh boy,
stay
Shaylin.
Stay near them.
I might have an idea about that. Hoshimi, if you could spare a second.
She quietly makes her way over. There's a very her face is pretty much unreadable. You have no idea what she's thinking right now.
I remember during your performance, you made heavy use of lights. Owen, you mentioned that... Sorry, Sybil mentioned that this creature is afraid of lights. Would you be able to enchant my clothes so they glow? Might make it a little bit more hesitant to attack me, and if I'm standing near it, it could make it hesitate in general.
Sun rods.
That's a pretty good idea, actually.
Sun rods.
There are a couple more left.
Alright, I'll be wielding a sun rod while I'm fighting this thing. Should hopefully...
And also, did nobody notice that she cast dancing lights?
I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you cast it just to check to see if it might be positive energy. So, my apologies.
As an additional precaution, Shaylin. And Boulder kind of picks up a small rock off the ground, like holds it, walks up to you, and just kind of lets go of it next to your head. And it starts like zipping around your head, never touching you. Chances are, if it tries to hit you, this gem will get in the way. I have a shattering gem.
Oh boy.
Thank you very much.
I'm not touching you.
No, it's a nice thing. It's basically baby's first mirror image. Anything that attacks you has a 50% chance of hitting the rock instead.
Cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Goo goo gaga.
You're all fired.
Gaga, hit me.
All right. Well,
Oh.
So, does everyone feel like they have prepared sufficiently? Oh, yes. Who else needs to give their stories to Boulder?
I just need Sybil and Shaylin.
Shaylin. It's Shaylin.
Yeah, whatever, Shay.
I would like to be known for the record, I am flipping him the bird.
Are we skipping 7 then?
I think that what happened last time counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. We never actually like agreed on whether or not what 7 was mumbling while she was drinking the potion counted as a story.
Well, that and the not necessarily conversation, but Boulder's reveal that they come from the same place, effectively.
Yeah. So it's like so. What do you think, Blissey? Does that count as the story, or do you have something that you want to give him?
I mean, technically no, and if it's gonna draw out the session, then I'd rather avoid that. I just wanted to know, was there anything that 7 could do in this battle other than stay away?
No. So the thing is that Olwen was trying to stress that you would need to hit hard and get out. And if you could do a magical thingy, do a magical thingy.
Yeah, so
I apologize. I'm sorry if that didn't come across very well. I'm very sorry, Blissey.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I'm just now
Yeah.
questioning, can I do anything now?
Oh yeah, just remember, you have 3 actions, and and this is a completely viable strategy. Move, strike, move away. That is totally viable.
Got it.
DM question.
Yep.
Do I have actions that will allow me to provide a distraction for Seven, though, so that she can hit easier or get away easier?
Yes.
Okay. So Sean just says, Seven, you're with me. I'll try to keep its attention, let you hit it easier.
All right.
Okay, Hoshimi looks at where the fox is laying. What am I supposed to do? I don't... Is it... She looks around at the kobolds, and then looks back at the fox, and it's very clear now that she looks uneasy about leaving him here.
Boulder, you mentioned just now that your magic can repair some of the damage that the wraith does. He kind of gestures to the fox that Hoshimi's been looking after.
Gladly. And he looks up at Hoshimi and says, "May I?"
She nods, and she walks over so that she's next to the fox, just because she's being that person.
Sure. And Boulder honestly doesn't even get closer. He uses the 30-foot version of heal and casts it. So that is gonna be... Oh, that is max. That is
Whoa!
32 points of healing to the
Heal.
baby. Just over heals and explodes.
How do I get
No!
You are being very, very careful with how you do this, because you can see how you can see and you really do understand how scared Hoshimi is and how much Hoshimi cares about this little fox. So you are being absolutely positively as careful as you can as you shoot as this kind of green and white energy just flows out of your quote unquote hands towards the little fox. The fox glows very briefly, like this kind of hollow white and yellow. And at first nothing happens. And the fox stirs a little bit, and it opens its eyes. And it looks around. It looks up at Hoshimi, and it looks at the and then it looks at the party. And it looks very, very confused.
Hoshimi doesn't even say a word. She just drops down and pulls the fox into a big hug, and she starts speaking in her native language. So none of you can understand what she's saying right now because I'm too lazy to type. Thank the gods! I thought for a moment that I'd lost you. I don't know what I would have done.
All right.
Hoshimi?
Uh?
Is it all right if I ask him questions? And perhaps if you can communicate with him, we could perhaps translate? I just kind of wanted to know if the wraith looked like a normal wraith, what he saw. That way we have some sort of idea of what might happen if it approaches us. That way this won't happen again.
Hoshimi looks at the fox and
Can
raises
it wait
an eyebrow.
Sorry. Chandra says, can it wait? Chandra says to Owen, can it wait for more than 5 seconds after the fox is woken up?
Yeah, the poor thing just got healed. Shouldn't we give it a few minutes?
I guess I'm just a little concerned that we may not have a lot of time before it strikes and hurts someone else again. So while I understand that's why I understand your concerns, and so I will leave that up to Hoshimi. But I do hope that I can speak with it at some point. Speak with him at some point. My apologies.
My question was not rhetorical, Owen. I asked, can we wait until it has at least recovered slightly.
Oh, I'm
If we
sorry.
need to do this immediately, then we need to do it immediately.
I
But
would
can
appreciate
be
the
afforded, right?
opportunity to prepare and get all my new spells into my spell preparation.
Well, that's fine. I can talk with the fox while you prepare. If Hoshimi's okay with that.
Mm.
Well, if the fox is okay with it as well, is the fox ready to talk
True.
yet?
True, very true.
Actually, Hoshimi, does he have a name? We should probably stop calling it the fox.
On the spot.
Hold on a second.
I'm just remembering all those one-shot questions. I asked him a question. No. What? No. Is no. Nay. No.
Hoshimi like gently pets the fox on the head and stands up. His name is Yuto.
That's a nice name. Okay, Yuto, it's very nice to see you, and I am very glad that you are feeling better. Do you feel ready? Do you feel like you'd be able to talk?
Hoshimi gives Olwen a look. You expect a fox to talk.
I figured if you can understand him, but perhaps I was overestimating?
Would you be willing to translate for her, or?
And Shylin gives Hoshimi a nod. Wait, you mean he's not like you?
It just seems an odd expectation for a fox not to think a fox can talk. And okay, Ziri's not in the room, right?
Yeah.
And none of these kobolds speak common.
No.
Especially considering I can't even talk when I'm in fox form.
And he can't transform into a humanoid form?
All of you are so presumptuous, jumping to conclusions so quickly.
To be fair, though, I've seen weirder things in the last couple of days than a talking fox.
We're sorry
that's
for
fair. Okay,
we're sorry
that's
for making
fair.
assumptions. Yeah.
Huh. And here I thought this was your long lost brother or, I don't know, lover.
Oh, okay, the second the word lover leaves your mouth, Hoshimi actually turns a little green.
My apologies.
And Flint actually turns towards Shylin. Maybe we should stop assuming things.
To be fair, I'm already in.
Yay!
That's one word I would use to describe you, but
In any case, you don't really have a way to sort of communicate with him on a level that you could translate for us?
I can translate for you. Okay. Hoshimi kneels back down next to the fox. And she seems to like take one of his paws into her hand for a moment, and she looks straight at him. There's some gestures and a couple of noises between them. And Hoshimi nods at him and then stands back up. Cold, floating fabric, black eyes with white in them. Other smaller ones following, got hungry and weak. I'm assuming that's what happened. That's the last thing that he remembers before passing out.
There were more than one? I'm sorry, maybe I misunderstood.
Okay, she leans back down to him again. Smaller.
I'm sorry, what was that first word?
Sheet humans. SHEET.
Okay.
So that sounds like he has some smaller. This wraith has smaller specters following it around.
Oh no.
From the religion check that both Olwen and Sybil have made, this does not surprise you. Wraiths are known to add to their number.
Well, that might explain why, they prefer to attack groups. That way all of them get a meal. Oh, goody!
Does this change our strategy then? Originally, we were assuming we were dealing with only one wraith, but if we're dealing with a group of them,
Would there
The
be any
big
way
one-
to separate them and take them on one at a time?
All right, let me. Well, according to the religion check, again, they have a tendency to follow the leader.
The big one, and we should be okay.
Flint, question.
Yeah.
Could you make flashbangs? It might at least stun the lesser ones so we can focus on the big guy.
Would I be able to craft something like that? DM question?
One minute.
Because I do have a high crafting check, so... Like it doesn't even have to be a mandatory asset. It could just be like a temporary asset if it's too much.
Well, I'm just looking at your current known formulas, and I think there is something in a flashbang, but something flashbang-esque, but it doesn't quite look like you have that with you.
Aw, man.
The most you could probably do is let's see. What is the rule set for adding a formula to your formula book?
How
Well,
long is
you
this
could- you
going
could-
to take?
Well, you could reverse engineer creating the sun rod, but that would take you about 4 days.
Yeah, we don't have that time.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of time.
Agreed.
I could reverse engineer one of my existing devices, but it would take about 4 days. I don't think we have that kind of time.
Agreed. Alright. Any other way he could disrupt it, Owen?
Honestly, the thing that I'm doing with the grappling hook and the sun rod, just as long as we kind of distract it with light in any way, shape, or form, I think that would be
And-
better.
Can wraiths be easily deceived? Could we make some kind of decoy and make it think that it's following a leader?
Okay. Anyone who's trained in religion, roll that, except for Olwen, lore undead.
Okay.
If wraiths could be
And-
easily deceived, that might be an idea.
That
And
could
on
be
top
that.
of that... Sorry.
Ooh, 20!
And on top of that, would fire count as a source of light for our purposes?
Oh, I'm like, okay, out of character. I'm pretty sure it would too.
All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, Olwen, you know that fire doesn't quite count as something as bright as sunlight, especially if it's
True.
just like a quick burst of flame, or like a quick explosion. It's not going to quite count as constant direct sunlight or light.
True.
Yeah. It can cause light, but it's not direct light.
It's not the same as, like, say, the sun rod, but it would still be a source of light that they probably wouldn't like.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe?
Yeah, it do damage, but not as much damage as you would like. Sybil, on the other hand, all right. So, just trying to remember what. Okay. So what was the? I'm sorry. What was the question asked again?
Oh, can wraiths be easily deceived? Like, if we made some kind of a decoy, could we fool them and separate them? Like, think, there's the leader, and maybe separate them.
Sybil, you know for a fact that that cannot happen because they can sense life. So if you're going to try and deceive it, you need live bait.
Ooh, okay.
To be fair, I was already going to be the distraction anyway.
Yeah, that would involve. We'd have to probably dress you up as a wraith leader then.
If
Why
you
does
recall-
Shiloh be baked?
Because I'm good at it.
Well, then I'm going with Shylin.
That was the plan. That was the plan already. Remember, I suggested that I can distract it while you get your hits in.
Oh, okay. Well, that works.
If you recall what Chieftain Zuri said, it focuses more on larger gatherings of life force. As long as any number of us are grouped together, something like that won't work.
Is this like a first?
It would go for the larger group instead of, the lone bait, maybe.
In that case, Owen, what do you say to us spreading out? Piggy, essentially playing Piggy in the middle with this creature.
That could work.
All right, so
Hoshimi leans down to the fox again.
okay, all right, so we're ready to head out.
I'm good.
Before we go, can I do just one more check before we go?
Yes.
Okay.
And
So,
do we need to do the stories first too?
Yes, and Shiloh needs to do his story.
Okay, so
Also
real
reloading.
quick,
Yeah.
before the stories begin, let me just do a quick check. Flint grabs a rock from this pile over here. He tries to sneak one without Boulder seeing, and gonna do this. I'm not gonna say what he's doing, but does that succeed?
All right. So, what are you trying to craft?
I don't know if I should say yet. I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah, send it to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Even if Boulder did notice you, he probably doesn't pay any attention. He's just focusing.
Okay, yes, that is definitely a good enough crafting check for that.
Yay! Awesome. Alright, I'm good.
All right, so, so you're handing it to him?
No, I'm save that for later.
Okay, saving that for later. Okay,
Yep.
Shylin, you walk up to Boulder and realizing that you have payment you need to give him.
One
Alright.
of Boulder's pebbles that makes up his eyebrow raises in your direction, even though he doesn't have visible eyes.
I believe I still owe you payment, and since I am potentially going to be getting killed by a wraith, I figured I should pay you now.
You will not die tomorrow. But please, do tell me your story. And if it seems like I'm not listening, I promise I am. And Boulder continues his focused, effectively meditation, because androids don't sleep.
So, Shylin sits down near Boulder. Well, I guess the one I could think of was the story of my first official fight. I actually spent a lot of time on these mountains. I was part of the Blades of a Martyr. You familiar?
Am I familiar, Josh?
Roll Lore Mountain.
Bam. I might be.
Yes. You have passed by a few of the members of this metallic draconic themed monastery a few times.
I've seen them in passing. worshippers or at least venerators of dragons, yes?
Not exact. Sort of. They actually started as venerators of Amata, once known as Tamara, the dragon god turned mortal. She inspired a lot of their ways. They were recruiting when I was about 15, and I wanted to join them. For the first few years, I was a step behind everyone else. I realized I had to develop my own style, find my own way of fighting, or else I would never be able to keep up. I'd never be able to compete with them. I'd always be the second best. Simply the kid following behind and copying everyone else. Still, once I found my own way of fighting, then I was able to actually get some headway. When I graduated, I realized I could make some money off of about the only useful skill I had. Signed up for the UAA Gladiator Arena. My first fight, I was fighting literal circles around my opponent. Couldn't even touch me. I had him dead to rights. I decided I would go for something flashy, please the crowd. It wasn't even an arena I was fighting in that day. It was literally, our arena, he says with air quotes, was literally just a bunch of bar tables that they pushed together to make something resembling a platform. I remember turning away from the guy, backflipping over his head, and well, let's just say I forgot how low the ceiling was. Woke up about an hour later. My head was killing me. Not my brightest moment.
Are you telling me that in your first official fight, your pride got the better of you?
Not just my pride, I got careless. I got overly focused on one thing and forgot to take into account the other details.
This story explains a lot, but it also helps me understand you better. There's nothing wrong with confidence in one's own abilities. However, you cannot simply think that ability alone will get you through the day.
You're absolutely right. The difference between pride and arrogance is an arrogant man thinks they are the best just because of their birthright. Pride is not allowing yourself to be anything less.
Shaylin, may I offer you some good news in tomorrow's coming fight?
You have my curiosity.
The ceiling is much higher outdoors.
Trust me, I have long since learned that.
Boulder gives a little chuckle. Good to hear. Never stop learning. Even when you think you know everything, there's someone who knows more. Thank
And
you.
one day, I'll surpass them too.
That's Brogan dying, not Boulder. Excuse me, sorry. Whew. But thank you for sharing. It is difficult to share one's faults, easy to share one's successes. So, thank you.
That is why I shared my faults. My failings made a story. My successes are just a stepping stone.
And Boulder will give him a nod and a thank you before moving on, because Josh doesn't want to go till midnight.
It's more of a I'm okay with going on for as long as I can. I'm just trying to be courteous to people who actually have lives outside of me.
Josh, don't you know we all revolve around you?
Yes, I am the center of the universe. Copernicus was wrong.